The Vare is not
new
easy
quest.
to find. We must first head north, and then west, deeper into the forest.
All right, well, I got some side questing to do first. You have something new, you say?
Yes?
Tide Strike. This is slightly weaker than what I currently have. I'm gonna make it,
I'd
but
like to
not
see
equip
another
it,
Smith do better.
because we might get, like, an upgraded version of it later.
A good tide to
It was only 10 points weaker than the Omega weapon, so we'll see. Oh, we got a lot of quests.
Go on like this.
Just try to breathe. That's it.
Is everything all right?
Ah, you're the outsider. I'm Fanit, healer by trade. And this is Talor, one of my patients. He took ill not long after you arrived.
Nothing too serious, I hope.
I hope so too, but
But
this affliction, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. He complains of feeling chilled to the bone, but there's no fever to go with it. And my most powerful antalgic hasn't done a thing to ease the pain in his chest. I'm starting to wonder if his condition might require a different kind of treatment altogether. Shula said that you were here to help us. You couldn't help me, could you?
Clive, well known for medicine.
I'd be happy to. If I can.
You can, don't worry. All I need you to do is speak to Talor's son, Pavat, over at the forge, and ask if he knows what his father was up to before he came down sick. Something must have caused this, and I want to find out what. The trouble is, Talor's too weak to speak, and I can't leave his side for long. So while you talk to Pavat, I'll pay his wife word a quick visit, just in case she knows anything.
All right.
This man is, like, so sick that he can't talk effectively about what he was doing before being sick, and his wife isn't, like, with him right now? I feel like his wife should have been telling you all this stuff immediately.
Oh, do you need something?
I do, though not from the forge. Fanit asked me to speak with you. She's looking into the cause of your father's illness and wondered if you could shed any light on the matter.
I see. Sorry. She shouldn't have dragged you into this.
It's no trouble, really. Tell me, did your father do anything out of the ordinary before he fell ill?
Not that I know of. But then I hardly see him. He's always out and about, like. Well, at least he was. Suppose he might have been a bit more fidgety than usual, but apart from that...
When you say out and about, where does he usually go?
Just round the village. Wanders over to Valisthea's place most days. He's a fisher who lives on the other side of the fount. They're old friends. Maybe he knows something I don't.
Maybe. I'll go and speak with him.
All right, let's go interrogate the fisher. Tell me your secrets, fishman. Are the fish actually fresh, or are they 3 days old and you lie about it? Tell me. Are you also sick? You're leaning over a lot.
Greetings, stranger. What can I do for you?
Your name is Blazir, is it not? Pavad tells me you're a friend of his father's, and that the two of you may have spent some time together prior to his illness.
His illness? Talor's never been ill a day in his life. I don't know why he'd start now.
Oh, Fanny doesn't know either. It was she who asked me to look into his recent behavior on the off chance it might explain how his condition arose.
Oh, I suppose there was something that struck me as a bit odd. He kept asking about the woods. Did you see anything strange on your way back from the shore? Are you certain? Do you swear? That kind of thing. I didn't, of course. But he wouldn't let it go. It was like he was expecting something to happen. It was just a matter of when. Not that I know what, but he never told me anyway.
Well, that certainly does sound unusual. And it might just be what Fanit is looking for. Thank you.
Ah, don't mention it. Oh, and when you see Talor, wish him the best from me, yeah?
You
Let's see what
got
the
it,
he
buddy.
likes of this.
I'm still sus about his fish, though. That old guy's up to something, I know it. Hey, yo, Finette. He's being weird about the woods.
I spoke with Werder, but she couldn't tell me anything. Did you have any better luck?
Nothing conclusive. But there was one thing. Valisthea, the fisherman, told me that Talor had taken a sudden interest in the forest of late. He kept asking him if he'd seen anything unusual there on his way back from the coast, but never let on what exactly he was expecting him to have seen.
The forest. Between here and the coast. Surely not. But then... I can't say for sure. But I think Talor's illness might have some connection to the Tonberries. You may have encountered them during your time here. The small, scaly beastmen.
And you think they may have caused Talor's illness?
I do. At least in a way. And if I'm right, it's no wonder the treatments I've been trying didn't work. Oh, I know it's a lot to ask, but would you go down into Father's Fell for me? There's an altar there. And if my fears are true, an offering upon it.
What is going on here?
Please. I'll explain everything when you return, but time flows fast. I beg you, make haste for Father's Fell and take the offering from the altar. Talor's life may depend on it.
Very well.
The people here are all so cryptic. Where's Father's Fell? We have to, like, trigger the next thing of the main story before we can go to Father's Fell. Let's go ahead and do that, then. I kind of want to go one side quest at a time right now, I think. Or I could go talk to all these other people for their side quests and not go fast at all like that lady asked me to save this dude's life. Just really take my time with it, you know, with him dying. We don't have a cutscene until further in, actually, anyway. Let's
Before
go.
We turned east at the shipwrecks to reach the coast. Now we must head in the opposite direction.
Left it is, then.
I have to get to the Tonberries first, though. They must be dealt with, those little monsters. First, they try and cause me trouble in Final Fantasy VII, and now they've come to Final Fantasy XVI.
If there's one thing I know about beastmen, is that they love to hide in the dark.
They do that, don't they? Sup, you little freaks? I'm here to kill you.
What are they up to? Some sort of ritual.
They're trying to summon the Earthbound Immortals. You idiots, don't you know I have a gun?
Sorry to disturb you.
Behold the icon of water. Fire! I'm a Tide Slinger, by the way. Land 300 tidal attacks combined. Nice. That didn't take me very long at all. Behold the tsunami! Yo! Tsunami is awesome, and I love it. Remember when those guys were alive? Me either. Tonberry Chopper. Abyssal Tier, go. Okay, so what do I do with this Abyssal Tier? I have to, like, wait for the vent to charge up, and then, like, how do I trigger it, though? I'm gonna let it, like, charge up a ton, obviously. Just like how I do with Giga Flare, or Mega Flare, rather. Dude, I love that they decided, you know what? You know what, this thing needs to be? Do I just use Vent again? You just use it again, okay. And then it locks on, and okay. I think I like that more than the rapid fire gun move. So far, Leviathan, seal of approval. Cool moves.
Let's see what's on this altar then.
I think once I get used to Leviathan to where I can like quick swap out of Leviathan like into Odin and Bahamut is when it'll really pop off. Dude, max level Giga Flare into max level Vent into whatever it is I'm thinking of, into like anything else. Zantetsuken, incredible. Or into rapid fire gun move, I mean. Just pop off with
Silver
explosions.
chain. I doubt the Tonberry's made it. This must be what Fanit was talking about.
Dibs. My silver chain. Travel to Fanit. I mean, I could. It's really not that far of a walk, though. I don't think I need the fast travel. It's just like right back up over here. I want to see all this beautiful scenery that they put so much work into making. Run, Clive, run! So I think we're going to turn this in and wrap up this side quest, presumably. And then I'm going to accept all of the other 3 side quests and see what we have going on from there.
I never should have let him go alone.
Katov, what have you done, man? What kind of a mistake have you made?
Bastard things.
This fast travel option does not need to stay on screen this long. Hello there.
You're back. Well, did you find anything?
Yeah, here you go.
I did. This silver chain.
I knew it.
Well, I'm still none the wiser.
Forgive me. This chain. It's a Gregorian Maternoster.
Worn by men of the faith. What's it doing here? And why would the Tonberries be praying to it?
To understand that, you need to understand what the Tonberries are.
They're freaks.
They feed on hatred and suffering. And some say that if you render them an offering, some token of grievance against your fellow man, they will put a curse upon him.
So you think someone's put a Tonberry curse on Talor?
I can't say for sure. Truth be told, I always assumed it was an old wives' tale. But given his fear of the forest and the presence of the chain on the altar, I don't know what else to think.
Does Talor have any enemies in the village? Anyone who would nurse such a grudge?
No, I believe the one who left the chain at the altar was Talor himself.
I beg your pardon.
But there's more to the tale, you see. It's said that if you attempt to curse a soul that has returned to the sea already, your ire has nowhere to go but back to its source.
You're saying he cursed himself?
In trying to curse another, aye.
When my father was younger, he was one of the few permitted to venture beyond the wall on trading expeditions. He told us that when he journeyed to Sanbreque, he'd wear that chain to disguise his true beliefs, lest Griega's faithful turn their cudgels on him.
Did they ever catch him in his deception? Might that explain the ill will he bears someone?
Not that he ever told me.
Come now. Let's not waste time speculating about Talor's past. We need to focus on the present, and that means finding a way to break the curse.
All right. If there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Thank you. I shall.
Aye, and thanks for going to all this trouble. Here, it's not much, but I want you to have this. We call it an adder stone. It's a gatherer's charm. Reacts to certain rare minerals we use in crafting. Makes them ring out like a bell. Stuff you'd have no chance of spotting otherwise. If you find anything, see that you bring it back to me. I can make you some decent gear with it. If you're interested, like.
I am, thank you. And I'll be sure to pay you a visit. Until then, I wish your father a swift recovery.
Quest complete. This feels like it's got a second part to it later, I assume, that we'll get to. Serpent Ring design draft and an Adderstone. We unlocked the recipe for the Serpent Ring. The Ring of the Serpents. I imagine I don't have what I need for it yet, but let's double check and find out. Serpent Rings. You've obtained the design draft for Serpent Rings, accessories that when equipped enhance Leviathan's iconic abilities. To create these items, speak with Blackthorn at the Hideaway or Pavatin Haven's Foundry and select Craft. Please note that crafting them will require several materials found only in Mysadia, such as aquamarine. You have obtained an Adderstone. Carved from aquamarine, Adderstones will resonate both audibly and visibly with other nearby sources of the precious gemstone, making them invaluable in gathering the rare crafting material. Your controller will also vibrate when in proximity. Aquamarine is hidden throughout Mysidia, so be sure to check every corner of the region. Please note that some aquamarine locations will differ between action and story-focused and Final Fantasy mode. Interesting. I don't really care about accessories that just make these moves cool down faster or do more, because the accessories that I got from, like, we have Genji gloves, which is just 5% damage up, and then the stuff we got from Echoes of the Fallen is like super OP, so feels like it is, at least. So I don't really care all that much about that. The only one that might interest me is probably Tsunami cooldown, but I'm not gonna bother, I don't think.
I never should have let him go alone.
What's up, buddy?
Ty, take me. What am I gonna do? You've got to help me. Shula said you were a force to be reckoned with. Are you?
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Hey? Oh, sorry. I should explain. My name's Kitav. I'm worried about a friend of mine. He went into the forest and he hasn't come back. Would you help me find him?
Seems easy enough.
I can try. Tell me what I need to know.
Of course. You know about the glamour our ancestors cast to keep this place hidden, right?
Shula told us about it, yes.
Right. So you know the cairns we use to maintain the spell? Well, it's me and my friend's job to maintain them. If it weren't for the likes of us, it would have faded years ago.
So your friend went into the forest to visit one of these cairns?
Aye, that's right. He said he was going down to Father's Fell. There are 2 cairns out that way, one by the banks of the Swift Run, and another near the Winged Wains, the ships in the forest.
All right. How will I know this friend of yours?
His name's Nassef. He's about my height, but clean-shaven. If you could track him down and see that he's come to no harm, I'd be much obliged. I'll search the village, just in case anyone's seen him, and meet you back here.
Very well.
You got it, buddy. I'm gonna go accept some other side quests first, though. I don't remember what the difference is between side quests that have exclamation marks.
Another by the river. Better get moving.
I don't remember what the difference is between side quests with exclamation marks and side quests that are plus symbols. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I ever knew the difference even back when I played the game. Hello.
Are you a rider by any chance?
I am. What gave me away?
Oh, I can smell it on you. The scent of the stables. And not just any stables. Something tells me you've never been one to ride half-starved birds with chine-gall and wet-beak.
What did you just say?
If I had a guess, I'd say your bird eats only the finest greens and has her feathers groomed twice a day with a curl hairbrush.
Nothing but the best for my ambrosia.
Ambrosia, eh? Pretty name. What's she like?
Well, she's tall and strong. And her feathers are as white as snow.
You're joking. You've got a white chocobo.
I have, yes. I suppose they are rather rare.
This I've got to see. Can you bring her here?
I would if I could.
I would if I could, but I doubt Shula's skiff could hold her.
Me dad's got a boat. And he's ferried chocobos before. You could get him to bring her. It'd be perfect timing and all. He's preparing for a trip beyond the wall as we speak. I'm sure he'd help you if you asked.
He would. Well, I don't suppose it would hurt to have Ambrosia around. All right then. Where could I find your father?
He'll be in the storehouse on the other side of the brook. Tell him Manda sent you.
Seems easy enough. And then we'll be able to ride our bird around these parts, I assume. And I think we had one more side quest, like over here, didn't we? Yeah, way over there. Let's go see what this one is about then.